It's finally race week, and it's been a few days since pre-season testing in Bahrain concluded. While it's clear that the top three teams are most likely to be Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari, only one of these teams seemed to have several issues last week in Bahrain, and that team is Mercedes. While Ferrari's pre-season test managed to go incredibly smoothly with almost no reliability issues at all really, and while they managed to sort out their porpoising problem along with Red Bull, Mercedes seemed to be the only team who struggled with the bouncing over the 3 days of testing in Bahrain. Lewis Hamilton has denied the claims that Mercedes are sandbagging and believes that Ferrari and Red Bull will be at the top at the beginning of this season. However, Ferrari's Carlos Sainz has said that this is typical of Mercedes to try and talk up their rivals in testing, only to then arrive at the first race and completely blow the competition away. And while I can see where he is coming from, in 2021, Mercedes looked pretty poor in testing and ended up winning the first race that season. But it wasn't exactly an easy race though, and it was clear that the gap between Mercedes and Red Bull had indeed shrunk. Lewis Hamilton, in response to the claims that Mercedes were looking bad on purpose, said, and I quote, "We would be very, very, very good if we do these moments of oversteering and the tacky driving on purpose to hide our speed. It's not the case. There are things we have to work around. Other teams don't seem to suffer as much as we do." End quote. Part of me wants to believe him when he says this. The biggest problem that Mercedes are facing right now is that there hasn't seemed to be many improvements to the W13's bouncing problem since testing in Barcelona a couple of weeks ago. Although Mercedes completely changed their side pods to what people are now calling zero pod, the severe bouncing on the W13 appears to not have been sorted. On the other hand, if Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton really are telling the truth about their problems, then why would Lewis have this absolutely massive grin on his face when talking about the problems? Would he really be happy about potentially not winning? This is Lewis Hamilton we're talking about here. George Russell added to this and said, "We do seem a step behind our rivals, and we have a lot of work to do between now and next week to understand, because in every condition, the Red Bull and Ferrari seem a step ahead of us." During the tests, the W13 looked like an absolute handful to drive, with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton really struggling to keep the car under control a lot of the time. Even the straight line speed on the speed trap seemed to be way off their rivals, Red Bull and Ferrari. Although Mercedes are probably running the car in a reduced engine mode, Red Bull and Ferrari are probably doing the exact same thing. This is Mercedes though, and I'm sure that even if they are struggling, they have an entire week to try and fix the problems before qualifying in Bahrain on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to seeing how well Mercedes do this season, and I also want to see if they do manage to fix these bouncing problems, which, it's Mercedes. They've got some of the best engineers in F1, which is why they've won so many Constructors' Championships, 8 in a row in this turbo hybrid era. And finally, I would just like to add that if you enjoyed the video and made it to the end of this video and quite enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and press the like button to help me support and grow this channel. Thank you very, very much for watching, and thank you for your generous support. See you soon.